Now let's do a really simple relaxation of the pelvis, the lower back, and the hips. And for this, you're going to need something like a yoga brick. So I'm using a yoga block because I have one, because I'm a yoga teacher and I have loads of these kind of things. But you don't need to necessarily have a yoga block, just anything that you can use to put between your knees. So you might want to use a cushion or like just something that doesn't weigh very much. Sometimes a nice little tennis ball or something, just something that you can just pop between your knees so you can get some feedback from your legs with it. But I'm going to use a yoga block just because I have one around. So if you need to pause the video and go and get your thing, do that now. We're also going to want to be somewhere where you can put your legs against a flat surface, so a wall or something. Now, again, it doesn't have to be a wall, it could be a sofa. Just find somewhere, and you can do this like I like to do this kind of thing in bed, to be honest, because I just put my legs up there and board. So we're going to start by lying down on our backs. Oh, can you see me there? Yeah, you can. So you're going to be lying on your back with your legs bent and your feet flat on the floor. And this is called constructive rest. And if anyone has been to my live classes, my Zoom classes, I love this position. It's just the best position for releasing tension in the lower back and the pelvis. So I want you to just take a moment here to let the rest of the day fall away. And arrive here where you've got nothing to do. You've got nowhere to be. Remember, everything I say is just a suggestion. You're the expert in your body. Now I want you to take your hands and just place them at the lower belly. And notice how, as you're breathing in, that belly naturally rises. And how when you breathe out, the belly naturally falls. And we're just going to let that happen. We don't need to force it. We're just having an awareness of it. And then you're going to take your hands and you're just going to post them at the bottom of the ribs. Now, if those hands don't go in that position, that's completely fine. All we're after is some feedback, some physical feedback in that area. So if your hands don't go there, just imagine them going against the floor. So as long as you can have some kind of awareness, it just helps when you put the hands there because it helps your brain go, okay, that's where that is. But it's not like completely necessary. And just as when we had the hands on the belly, I want you to notice that as you're breathing in, those ribs expand. And as you're breathing out, they fall. And I want you to see if you can send that breath to the back of the body and visualize a balloon, and how when you breathe up a balloon, when you blow up a balloon, it's not just one part of the belly, it's not just one part of the balloon that moves. When you put air into the balloon, it goes equally around 360. I want you to think that your lungs are like those balloons. So as you're breathing in, they're not just going forward and back, they're also going to the side, the back of the body, the bottom, the top. And then you're going to take your block and you're going to place it between the knees. And we're just going to gently squeeze the block as we breathe out. And as you're breathing in, you're just going to stop squeezing the block. Breathe out, squeeze the block. Breathe in and relax. Breathe out, squeeze the block. Breathe in, release. One more. Breathe out, squeeze the block. Breathe in and release. Take the block away and windscreen wiper the legs from side to side. You're going to have your hands on your hips and keep both of your feet on the mat. And then you're only going to use the right leg to begin with. And you're going to slowly let your knee come out to the side now. What I don't want is you to just boomf, bring that leg straight out. And I don't want the hips to roll as well. This is going to be really careful, cared, considered, compassionate, all the lovely C's. We're going to bring the knee out super slow. And then you're going to slowly bring it back in. And you're going to try and keep the pelvis as still as possible as you do this. And we're just staying on the right side to begin with. And as you do this, really take some big deep breaths into the hip. You might even say to yourself, relax. Now you can continue with this, or you're going to get your pillow or your block and you're just going to place it kind of up towards the side of the leg, so it's like a doorstop, and you're going to allow that knee to come out to the side. And we're going to breathe into this area around the hip and the groin. Now, it shouldn't feel sharp, it shouldn't feel twingy, it shouldn't feel like hot or anything like that. So, if it does come back, just do the controlled movement. Remember, I'm just a guide, you're the expert in your body. The goal of this isn't to get all of the poses done correctly. The goal is to soften and release the pelvic area. So if it's stressing you, that's not the point. And then bring it all the way back in. Let's do the same on the other side. So you're going to let the knee come out and then back in. Really slow. And these movements are so powerful for the pelvic floor. I know it's like, if you're new to them, you can be like, why are we doing this? What's this got to do with anything? But what we're trying to do is get those muscles that have been holding on either because of emotional gripping, or because they're working against an imbalance, or just habitual. Doesn't actually sometimes need to be anything wrong. Sometimes it's just the way they've been firing for a while. We're getting them to feel safe so that they can relax. And then, if you want to, we're going to go into that static hold, letting the knee come out and breathe into that area. So I really want to feel support there. You might need more than one brick or block. You can always get the phone book, do that. Not that phone books exist anymore, but you know what I mean. A big book. Said that in a class the other week and no one knew what I was talking about because they were too young. Big deep breaths here. And then bring that leg all the way back up. And we're going to shuffle ourselves to the wall. Make sure that your bum is still on the floor. You don't need to have your bum up close to the wall. All we're going to do is bring the feet up to the wall like you're sitting on a chair, but you're not sitting on a chair because you're the other way around. You're going to have your hands either on the belly or by the side, and I want you to push your heels ever so slightly into the wall and then drag the heels down the wall towards your bottom so your hamstrings kick in. And we're just going to hold this and then release. So it's the same as when we were squeezing the block. You're going to breathe out, push into the wall and down. Breathe in and release. Breathe out into the wall and down. Breathe in and release. Last one. Push into the wall and down. Breathe in and release. And then if it feels good for you, you're going to hug those knees in towards the chest. Just do any movements here that feel nice for you. And then you're going to roll to one side. And you're going to come up. And you're going to get on with your day. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you have any requests for classes, do let me know.